Hi again, everyone. Welcome to another episode of SupplySide Showcase by RV Business. I'm Rick Kessler from RV Business. Also from RV Business, we have Chris Cieto. And joining the two of us today, we have a couple of gentlemen from LinksWell Inc. Mark Lukas, who should be familiar to most people in our industry. And we also have John Detlefsen. Mark, by the way, and I'm going to use my notes, RV Marine Sales Director, and John, Marketing Manager for LinksWell. Gentlemen, thank you both for joining us.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you very
pleasure.
much.
Yeah, thanks for being here. So give us a little bit of background on LinksWell Inc. That would be helpful for the RV industry to know.
Sure. Well, I mean, LinksWell, as the RV industry knows, it is going to seem fairly new. So LinksWell, the division of LinksWell that produces the Links 2 multiplexer system, it's only been a couple of years that's been around. And that really broke off of a larger company that still exists. There were two companies, SimpleSoft, which did software, and then there was Syntegrate, which actually manufactured and made the components that ran that software. And that company was a tier one, tier two supplier to the different automotive companies, integrating phones, integrating media, those kind of things, working through the different CAN bus systems in the vehicles. And as John told me earlier, once Apple Play came along and CarPlay and these different things happened, there was much less to do with software and those type of components. So there was the need to say, hey, what other industry can we bring our engineering, our expertise, our building of these components to? And instantly, they realized RVs really needed somebody with that kind of background to do some of these multiplexer things and do some of this audio stuff. So, LinksWell, although fairly new, the ownership of it, privately owned, but the ownership of it and the company that's over it has been around almost 20 years.
John, correct me if I'm wrong, but LinksWell and its parent company worldwide, right?
Yeah. We've been around for quite a while. LinksWell actually was initially started to be data. Like we were here to be like boots on the ground to get inside of vehicles and pull data for engineers that are off site. So that's kind of where we started. But yeah, they're selling product and software and firmware all over the place.
Okay. So, Mark, you mentioned making inroads in the RV industry. Tell us a bit about the particular product or products that LinksWell offers the RV industry.
Sure. So the big one that we're talking about recently, anyway, is the Links 2 system. So playing off the LinksWell name, but it links to any other component, any other item you may have. It's a multiplexer. So you have a 10-inch screen, a 10-inch, 11 or 12-inch screen. And then you have what I call the brain, which is really the control unit. So whether it's an overland off-grid type vehicle and you're very much concerned with what kind of power you're consuming, what's running at the moment, what length of life you have on batteries, or what kind of solar power you're gaining, or whether it's a large fifth wheel, large class A, and you just want the luxury of running everything and have app control and have a neat little touch screen to be able to dim lights and run slides and do whatever. That's really the system that we've entered the market with. And the nice thing is that although we have some off-the-shelf components, we also custom build these as well.
Okay.
And we're working with a couple different Forest River divisions, in particular, Rogue Toy Haulers. They're installing one of our systems next week, and that'll be on display at the open house. And that was custom designed. We started with our Android system, but really custom designed it to their need and to their products.
Nice.
So Mark, I'm a sales guy, and John, I'm also on the marketing side. Yeah, how do you differentiate? What are your points of sales and differentiation for your product compared to what's already in the market?
I mean, it's all junk. No. Is that what I'm supposed to say, John? Is that the marketing line?
We worked over that. We went over that.
Darn it! I should have checked my notes first.
I know.
Look, I joke about that, but I think too often in the RV industry, it's always price, or it's what can I import from overseas and just resell. And really, they don't have, these companies don't have the support and don't have the other things. And it doesn't matter on a lot of commodity items. It really doesn't matter. You're gonna look at both of them when you're building an RV and say, I like this one. It might be a couple bucks more, but I like the quality, or I like how this one looks, and that'll work. And for those products, that approach is fine, and it served a lot of people really well. But when it comes to electronic stuff that we're talking about, not only are there a lot of regulations, but there's a lot of programming that goes in behind the scenes. And I'll give you an example. Like I said, we were working with the Forest River Company, and we were running the slide room in and out. And all of a sudden we realized, we'd only set it up for 15 volts and we needed 20. So I had the engineers with me. They made one phone call to someone in China at the factory. They wrote some software, sent it over, we uploaded it, and instantly now that channel output 20 volts.
Wow.
So, that's not something I've seen any other company in this industry do, usually because there's middlemen. So to have that response, which, over here it was 2 p.m, 2 a.m. in China, but we have a team of 30 engineers over there. They instantly sent the software and we adjusted it. So when I say a custom built solution, it is that custom. And there's not an extra charge for that. I mean, the software, I won't say it's free, but software for us, we have people on board to modify it, however. So not only is it quick, but it's built into our pricing. And so I will tell you that we're not only competitive on price, but I will guarantee that after being a tier 1 and tier 2 supplier, we know the product goes to market right. And when it's delivered, it'll work. I mean, John, is there anything else you want to add to that?
Yeah, I was just going to piggyback on the fact that we are 100% in-house. Like we're not we're not engineering outside. We're not manufacturing outside. It does give us that instant being able to do any kind of troubleshooting or, any of that stuff, to the point of like, we're working on being able to even remote into our new product. So if you had a customer who had an issue out on the road, we could get into the system remotely and look around and see if we can't see something within the firmware. So like being able to have everybody in one roof, and like Mark said, this has been how we do things from the get-go. Like I have worked with engineers since day one, and I have had meetings where they're at like 3 a.m. and they need to send me some kind of firmware patch, or, we're video chatting over something. The owner of our company has sat in the driveway of customers' houses to get some firmware worked out. Like it's just the company from the top down is 100% about making sure that we're creating what people want and need, and that it's top tier. So, and we have all the resources to make sure that happens.
That's great flexibility right there, and
For sure.
value.
And,
John,
and like I said, when we're looking, like John's Jeep is using our system. He has a Jeep. He just camped this weekend with his family. And, not only is it cool, and since he was an installer in a previous life, he'll just go ahead and install it. But I mean, it's so versatile. He uses our 10-inch system, our Linux system, and he's controlling the solar. He's controlling lights on his Jeep. He's controlling everything for camping on the weekend.
Really
that same system.
Coffee maker.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, get the coffee maker going in the morning. But that same exact system is also being used in Class B vans. Same exact system, and it's merely changing some programming behind the scenes for it to work in his Jeep or to work in this brand Class B or this brand Class B. So again, that's where I think we differentiate ourselves. We just don't import, and then it's up to the OEM to make it fit. We're designing these solutions just like we would in the automotive world.
John, I'm curious. I'm picturing my mother, 77 years old. At one point, she asked me why I don't text her back. And I said, Mom, I've never received any text from you. And she shows me her phone, and she was trying to text me in the notes function.
Sure.
So that's a very long-winded way to ask you about the user interface with what you guys have out there. Because it works great if I know how to work it.
Yeah.
I would say the user interface actually, so that's why we came out with the Links 2, was the owner went to an RV show, saw that there was 6 different displays with a million different switches, and he said, I can make this so much simpler. I can put all of this into one screen, and it's literally that. Like, we have icons that say home, lights, power, loads, on, off. There's literally if you want to dim a light, you just kind of drag the dimmer to dim it. Like it's so simple, quick, and easy. And it's the same whether you have the screen or, as we mentioned, we have an app where you can actually control your rig from your phone. So the UI is almost identical on there. Like the usability, it's very simple. Like I can remember most RVs I've ever been in. Like you're trying to figure out what switch does what half the time. Like how am I turning on the water pump, or how am I turning on the heater, right? And this is literally, it's named. This is what it is. When we talk about the customizing, you can actually name each light. So that button is, kitchen light. It can be bedroom light. It can be, left slide, right slide. So you can name them all, change the icons. It's really simple. Once it's set up, I think this is probably going to be the most clear functioning controller on the market for sure.
Nice, nice.
Well, one of the other nice things is where it's a 10 or an 11-inch screen, the home screen has almost everything you need at a glance. So you're not having to go through page after page and drill down to find something. You're able to see all of your tanks, your battery power, your inside and outside lights, and a lot of other features right on the home screen.
Yeah.
So you're not having to, you walk in, you just basically touch it, it turns on, and everything is at your fingertips for the most part, but you absolutely can drill down to some of the other features like John was mentioning.
Very new.
Nice.
Go ahead, Chris.
Oh, I was just going to say, so Links 2 is what you're bringing to market right now. Are there other products on the horizon that you plan on bringing in either, beginning of next year or later this year that are coming forth?
Yeah, so there's two things that we're working on. One thing is integration with other products. So we really support the RVC protocol that everyone's working with. And it's been something that everybody got excited about and then maybe didn't understand, and now they're getting excited about again. Our engineers have worked directly with Ericsell and the different companies they have. We've worked with Furrion. We're in the process of getting a hold of Dometic to try to set up some meetings there so that when a customer plugs something in, it just automatically identifies it and automatically runs that component. Even if they were to change something in the aftermarket, let's say that a water heater were to go out and they were to replace the water heater, they can plug in, it's automatically identified. Or an air conditioner, change an air conditioner, they plug it in, it's automatically identified. That's the beauty of RVC, is to be able to switch these components and it still works through the system. So that's one thing we're working on is deeper integration with these companies as they come out with products. The other thing is we currently build a lot of stereos, 9-inch touchscreens, some amplifiers, some mono amps. We build some digital signal processing amplifiers. I think that there's a place for some of those in RVs. Okay. It's going to be a matter of, it'll probably be a little more niche of a product. And then the thing that we have probably in 6-8 months from now is Class A dashboards, also leading over to a center stack like a T-style or a Tesla style radio, along with controlling the back. So we already have prototypes of those things made. We're already working on the integration. So is it in the future? It's in the future, but I would say the near future. So for Class A people, we've done the research and we have those products that will be coming out soon.
Well, near future, that's the segue to Open House, and LinksWell will be at the Supplier Show at the Hall of Fame for the Open House. Mark, I'm assuming you'll be at the booth?
I will be at the booth. We'll also have some of our engineers from overseas and a few other people there as well, just to kind of get a feel for the industry. And also to support, like I said, Forest River Rogue toy haulers. They will have a system at the show at the Forest River display running in one of their brand new toy haulers. So we'll have that system there. And should they need anything or want to show it off, we'll be there. And we'll be showing our 10-inch Linux system. We'll be showing our new Android systems with both a 10-inch and a 12-inch screen. And I think we'll probably have a few of the other radio style products. Correct, John?
I would assume.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yep.
Very cool. Well, kudos to you. I got to segue back to what you just said about future products, that this is to anybody else who we interact with. Look at what Mark just did and actually talked about what's coming to market openly. Usually it's a big secret. Oh, we can't talk about this yet, or we got Q2. So good on you for sharing.
Thank you.
Some of the things that LinksWell Inc. will be doing. That's fantastic. So other than the show coming up, the Supplier Open House, and you being Elkhart based, you guys are a California company. Are you guys planning on establishing some more roots in the Elkhart area, with a building or anything like that?
Absolutely. And that's one of the first questions we've been asked when I went to the different OEMs and said, hey, we'd like you to use our product. What kind of service, what kind of support, how long will it take to get product, that kind of stuff. So right now we have all products and everything in California, but I've been looking all this week, I've been looking at different buildings throughout the area. So we're going to have established not only a warehouse to stock product, but we'll also have engineers on the ground, a testing facility, an area to help design products. We'll have a bay that an RV can be pulled into in that area. Oh, cool. So it'll have offices for people for receiving orders, accounts payable, all the boring stuff. And then it'll also have the warehousing and technical and that kind of stuff as well. So we know that a presence here is absolutely important. we're in it for the long haul. This is the industry we're choosing to be in. We also, at the same time I was hired a director for power sports. Okay. And so, he'll have his own office probably out of California, where a lot of that stuff's based, but we have products geared specifically to that market. So we'll be expanding into that area. And then now that, the toe's been dipped into the RV waters, marine will also be running out of this building here in Elkhart with the amount of boat manufacturers in this area. And we have truly waterproof, marine tested products that are in the works right now. So, yeah, we're planning. I mean, we're not going in slowly. We're here for the long haul and here in a big way.
Maybe.
Well, congratulations. Can't wait to see the product firsthand. Mark, good to see you again as always.
You too.
John,
I feel like I stole
you.
all of John's thunder. I feel like I spoke the whole time.
No, you're the I'm just hey, I'm just glad to be here. That's all.
Well, very good, guys. Thank you again. And we'll see everybody else on the next episode of RV Business Supply Side Showcase.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.